I'll try and finish the train station build if I can. Let's see, how much glass do I have? Yes. Anyways, good, no phantoms, that's what I need. Is it bad that I wish C418 would come back with his music? For Minecraft?
I think a number of people would actually.
I actually think that might be a very common sentiment.
Trouble is, and I mean no offense to the new musician, I think they do a great job. It's just, it doesn't feel the same, you know?
Something feels off.
Well, no, when you've been playing the game for as long as I have, since 2013, you know, the music sticks with you. And especially when it was just, 418's stuff, especially. Again, nothing against the current musician. I just wish Microsoft wasn't so greedy, because that was why C418 left Minecraft, is because Microsoft wanted to try and claim all his music for themselves. And we all know what would have happened had that happened. You know?
Yeah, you'd basically get what happened to the guy who was doing the music for Doom.
Well, or, everybody who films Minecraft would get copywritten because of all of the music stuff.
Well, people already were because of Warner Brothers after the Minecraft movie, because they included some of C418's music. And people that had some of his music playing in their videos got copyright struck by Warner Brothers, even though they don't actually own the music.
Is it bad?
Like they licensed. Warner Brothers copyright struck someone that they licensed for.
Is it bad that I'm kind of hoping C418 sues Warner Brothers for this? Because if they didn't get his approval for this, well, they're going to have a big problem on their hands.
And that's why he made it kind of public domain, so anyone could use it.
Exactly.
And he still technically owns music, and if he's allowing people to actually use it, Warner Brothers is not allowed to copyright claim any music that does not belong to them. But because of it being in the Minecraft movie, they claimed it.
Which is ridiculous.
They don't actually own the music.
And forgive me,
it's ridiculous.
And correct me, but that's also rather illegal, is it not?
Yeah.
Quite illegal, actually.
Lawsuit time!
I mean, Warner Brothers already is about to basically get hit by the biggest FTC fraud bust since Enron, because Zaslav decided to do something very stupid.
Ooh.
Okay, that's not unusual, but this time it's different. You see, he announced publicly, like an idiot, that his plan to save Warner Brothers was to basically break it into two companies, saddle one of them with all of their debts, and then sell it off to someone else.
So in other words, monopoly tactics. That's typical.
No. Well, here's the thing, though.
Or in other words...
No. Here's the thing. That's investment fraud, which is actually illegal and enforced by the IRS. Who always get their man, so to speak.
Oh, I might be crazy enough to take on Batman, but the IRS, no, thank you. Wait,
the IRS are like evil Mounties. They always get their man.
You know, when Joker even hates the IRS, that says something. That really does.
Even Joker is scared of the IRS. Like, that's how you know this is some serious shit.
No shit, Sherlock. This right here is why I made the disclaimer tag for the video.
Let me put it this way. This is one of those things where they made the laws on it specifically because it was something used by the mafia. Back, in the Al Capone days. It's how I would get rid of shell companies.
So in other words, the IRS has just legalized mafia tactics. Nice to know.
No, the IRS hasn't legalized it. David Zaslav basically just publicly announced he was doing something illegal like an idiot and opened himself up to a shitload of lawsuits.
No.
And
Well, you know what? If
basically,
well, you know what?
he's now under investigation.
You realize he'll just resign before they can ever fully convict him. That's how a lot of these millionaire scumbags get away with the crimes they commit. They'll just resign or get
Can't do that because he was the person who straight up said that they were going to do it. Like he was the one making the direct announcement in an interview.
You know,
Meaning
is it bad
he can't back out like this because he's now a complicit / witness / ringleader. You know.
Is it bad that I'm kind of hoping this prompts the IRS to check all these other studios that are screwing over stuff we cared about as kids? You know, animation.
No, and in fact, that is exactly what it will lead to because it turns out the film insurance thing that's been allowing them to make terrible movies, have them bomb, and then still make money, as well as the tax write-off thing that allows them to just write off a movie for taxes and then get all their money back from Uncle Sam. Yeah, that's going away now.
Good.
Like the Wile E. Coyote versus Acme.
Well, good.
Okay,
Acme
that
movie.
okay.
Because
Coyote
that
versus
one-
Acme also got saved, but in a different way. That one actually got saved because he just sold off all the Looney Tunes to Ketchup Entertainment.
You know what's funny? I'm just
Yes,
hoping.
Warner Brothers sold the Looney Tunes. I still feel gross saying that.
Yeah,
I'll put
they're
it
one of the
like
major
this.
franchises.
I don't know how big that studio company is, the one who got them, but if it's run by people who actually either grew up with the characters or care about them, then I think they're in good hands. Maybe. Big emphasis on maybe.
Okay, to be fair, you're actually right considering Ketchup Entertainment were the ones who distributed. They went out of their way to get the distribution rights to Day the Earth Blew Up, that Daffy Duck and Porky Pig movie that came out. Which, even though it flopped because Warner still, because Warner wouldn't let them advertise it on any Warner-related channels, and also because obviously Warner Brothers competition wouldn't allow that either. It wasn't able to make its money back, and that's actually what led to Zaslav first shutting down the Looney Tunes, but then selling them off because he hates animation.
Well, you know what? That means he hates art and should outright be removed from the film industry altogether because he's a threat.
Which is going to happen because of the tax thing, because he going to jail.
Bud, you just watch. If Diddy can get off for frick with just the money he's got, this guy's gonna get off too. I'm sorry to say that.
He didn't get off.
Well,
He
somebody
still got
said,
a prison sentence.
yeah, a stupidly short one. Which
Look,
for the
I'm gonna Look, I'll count my blessings wherever they come. At least it was something.
is it bad that I'm hoping somebody whacks his ass behind bars?
Well, that's a guarantee at this point, dude. But the problem is, I would to know who else was at those parties, aside from the people who confessed to being at those parties. Because a lot of people had openly said proudly that they'd been to Diddy's freak-offs before people knew what they were. And now people do know. And a few people have gotten rather incriminated all of a sudden.
Oh, well, if you want to be real technical, that's pretty much everybody in Hollywood high society. If we're going to be that,
Well,
I'm just putting it bluntly, man.
not everyone, as plenty of people in there were also the victims of this.
Well, you know what I mean.
So-
a lot of the ones who were open.
But also,
well, you know what I
it
mean.
is actually quite a few names in the hip hop industry, as it turns out.
Oh Lord, here we go.
Let's see off the top of my
wait,
head.
I'm
There's
hold
Usher.
it. I'm recording at the moment. Remember?
Oh, right.
Oh, what the hell! I made a disclaimer anyhow. But
One of them was
still.
Usher. I'm gonna say that.
Oh,
One of them is Usher.
Well, it's a good thing I don't like hip hop or rap music, and this just further solidifies my hatred for it. Sorry, but
I don't think you quite understand the weight of me saying one of them was Usher. That's the guy that discovered Justin Bieber.
well, yeah. I mean, dude, I think there's actual video of Justin back in I think either the 90s or something, where turned out to be rather, I forget the word they used for it, but it wasn't exactly appropriate. Let me put it that way. I don't remember, man. I really don't. But it does. It does beg the question: how many other kids were treated like that in Hollywood? Like, it makes me wonder if the. I mean, hang on, let me pause this.
Crashworthiness or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know. It's just the more modern G vocab just has. I mean, of course, it has new electronics in it, but still.
You know what I wish they had done while the units were stored at IRM? I kind of wish IRM had secretly taken both of the units and just repainted and fixed their paint and cleaned them up, you know?
Yeah.
No, literally,
Yeah.
just.
Oh, yeah. 8701 and 8646. I actually know what their original numbers are.
Well, that's what I mean. Those were the. Wait, did both of them get rebuilt finally?
No, at least from what we know.
I know one of them. I think one of them did get rebuilt and repainted, supposedly.
Yes, it did. And it got rebuilt into an AC-44 C6M or something.
Fair enough.
I mean, the UP is choosing not to have any more DC traction GEs anymore. So that's why they're all gone. They mostly prefer the AC ones, like the AC-44s But the 8701 and the 8646, the two CNW twins that were stored at the IRM at one point, though they're renumbered to, I think, 9805 and 9750.
I wonder if those at UP have thought of preserving them later. I mean, yeah, it would be hard to replicate what they looked like in the 90s as built, but paint-wise, they could still repaint them theoretically into the scheme everybody foamed over, you know?
Yeah.
That is true.
Of course, aren't there
But the
others? Aren't there, like, isn't there other CNW units that are still just as untouched in storage lines somewhere?
I don't think so. Most of them, almost every single one of them is patched up at least.
But in a theoretical sense, you could also take one of them and doll one of them up as one of the CNW twins if you wanted to.
Yeah, they don't have to be 8701 or 8646. They could just take a random, like two random ones and just say, well, you take these two.
Well, yeah, and I mean, honestly, you don't have a lot of equipment of, quote unquote final equipment that the original railroad purchased in preservation. I think the best example is Tag 80. That was the last new locomotive that railroad bought before they disappeared or whatever,
Yeah, CNW's Dash 9s and their AC-44s were actually the last locomotives that they purchased. And also, it was the first, like, for the Dash 9 was, CNW was the first railroad to buy the Dash 9s.
Yeah, so there's already at least some historical significance, maybe not a lot. But,
yeah.
I mean, yeah.
And to be honest, I think that if they do manage to preserve one or both of those, like two Dash 9s for the IRM or whatever, that would mean that those would probably be the first of their kind to be preserved. It will be probably the first Dash 9s to be preserved.
But that's...
I could be wrong, but...
But understand, that is if, and only if UP and IRM are even okay with that. Remember, even if Union Pacific would be okay with giving those units away, they would also... IRM would have to okay taking them. If not, then they would be, You'd have... Well, I mean, here's the thing. You'd have to split them up regardless because a museum may only want, say, one example. They wouldn't take both.
Yeah.
But then again, they do have a lot of CNW equipment. Don't forget that.
Yeah. They even have two twins.
Well, yeah, two F units. I think they chose to paint one in CNW livery and another in the early Metro livery, right?
Well, yes. One of them actually was kept in its original Metro. Well, both were delivered in the Metro, were donated to the IRM in the Metro scheme. 305 was renumbered back to 411 and painted to the CNW paint, and 308 continues to wear its Metro colors.
Oh my god, it's got a heading hold. Okay, guys, I'm gonna turn on screen share real quick because I got something I really want to show you.
Is it the boat?
Yes, yeah, it's a boat.
I know. Is it the boat?
Oh no.
I'm
Oh, it is
joking.
definitely one of them.
I'm joking. I'm just messing with you, right?
Yeah, but here it is.
Not bad, actually.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the MS Vaquita, launched in 1958.
Oh,
Named
yes.
after a small species of porpoise discovered that year.
So it was named like that on purpose.
So is it named after that?
I
one in
whale kill
Mexi-
you for that joke.
So wait a minute. Wait a minute. It was what porpoise was it named after again? Is it named after?
The Vaquita.
Oh yes, the one that's now endangered in Mexico.
They're so cute.
I know, and they're. Ugh, I don't even know how their population's doing because apparently, like, I don't know. There's always everybody's freaking out about them and saying, "Oh, they're functionally extinct." But meanwhile, when I looked, it seemed like one population had like over 100 plus members. But I don't know. That's the problem.
Apparently, there's only 10 in their native habitat because that other population is somewhere else. Like, there's basically 10 in the actual area they live in Baja because fishermen kept killing them.
I know, and now I don't even.
God damn it, Mexico.
I don't even think you could try to get. And of course, like the southern resident orcas, nobody wants to risk integrating the different pods together to create a stable breeding thing for fear of stress. But you know,
Actually, you could do you could do what they're doing for zebra breeding, where you have them, gestate in. Basically, you inseminate a very close species of porpoise with them, so that they can give birth to little vaquitas.
well, here's the problem though. How would you do that with the southern resident orcas, which of course are the more famous orca whales of the entire species, because Free Willy and the fact that they're like so little in number.
Okay, that one I don't know how, outside of maybe reintroducing ones that have been in captivity to the wild.
There's none left.
In those regions.
There's none left. Lolita was the last one alive, and she died around the 30th anniversary of Free Willy. And what's
Very
funny...
poor choice of name, by the way.
I know, and what's funny, and aside from that, no. I think the only reason let me pause this, because this is going to get heated.
If it's one funnel, you gotta place it as close to the middle as possible.
Because symmetry!
Now, granted, it can be slightly further forward if you have a nice tapering profile towards the stern. But if you don't, here's the thing. 1930s onward, where you start getting the ships that are more streamlined, you can get away with it being further forward a bit more because, the rest of the ship tapers towards the back anyway. It's a nice effect. But if you're before that, if you're like Edwardian type ships or 20s ships, gotta be in the middle. Know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Look at this thing's lighting.
You know what's funny? I'm here mining out the area under the conveyors. Just so I can have an excuse to use copper grading here. Oh, and a coal vein, so there's yet more ore I can add into the ore book. It's funny, when I first made the new ore log for this mill, I wasn't sure if I should just count smeltable ores or just everything, and I decided to count everything, because why not? Now, I'm almost wondering if I should make the roof out of diorite or tough brick. I don't know. I've got ample cobblestone, so I could also make it out of stone, but I'll put it like this. I'd like for the upper part of the mill to have that iconic factory-style roof, where it's the triangular roof with the windows, skylights going down. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, deep. It's either I put it on the mill or the warehouse. I haven't decided yet. I'm sorry, but that Love, Death, and Robots episode with the aliens, that was just... Whoever came up with that deserves a raise, because, my God, that was hilarious. It's like, it's stupid, but it's also hilarious as hell. Oh, God. Oh, God. It's like bro got clapped. Literally. Oh, God. Oh, God. I'm sorry. By the way, Thoron, did you have any of those extra hoppers left over? Is Thoron still here?
No.
Oh, I didn't know he left.
Nav lights aren't hooked up either. So that's another problem.
You should have told him not to use infinite electric on the boat. That way you could know where to light.
I did. It's just that he was literally taking forever, and I figured I could just fix the few remaining things.
So you rushed him.
Wait, what?
It's like I said, so you rushed him.
It literally... He'd been working on it for a year.
Oh, Lord.
It's just that he was busy.
I'm aware of that. What did I come
But
back here to get?
Again, well worth it. Look at this thing.
Good Lord, I love I come back to the base to get... Oh, that's right. I'm an idiot. Let's see, I've got TNT. You know, I'm seriously debating on just building a new version of the mill that I built in MCM. Well, no, that's what I'm doing already. It's using the mill from MCMP, but that's beside the point. Point is... Oh, for God's sakes. My brain, I swear... There we go.
Can't find a horn either. That's another thing. But once again, easy.
I'll say this much, though. The mill I'm currently building is sort of what I would have liked the mill at MCMP to look. And, honestly, I'm seriously considering building a new mine from scratch. Instead of using existing caves at the mill site, I want to just dig a new mine shaft in and have it so that it's immediately accessible in the mill or something. I mean, at the same time,
Oh, that's cool.
What I'm saying? Or
Look, I'm moving it. Well, yeah, that's cool too. But I'm also moving in, photo mode, the exact right speed to make it look like I'm standing still while the ship passes.
Oh, nice.
Like, look at this.
I see it.
$1 million shot.
No, the $1 million shot would go from the bow panning up and around and following the ship.
All right, let's see.
Or if you want to get real technical, do it from the right and you get the opening to the 06 Poseidon, which is even more epic, if I'm being honest. I mean, that intro is still one of my favorite introductions to a ship, period. Though,
It at least does make it good at making... That movie did a bad job at making me feel sorry for the characters, but it at least made me feel sorry for the ship. Because, wow, what a marvel of design. It's like Queen Mary 2, but with even more of a streamlined deco influence to her exterior. It's gorgeous.
You know, it does sort of make me wonder if they based the 06 Poseidon on really early design renditions of Queen Mary 2, because it has a very similar profile, but almost makes me... You know what I mean. It really makes me wonder if they based Poseidon's model on earlier design concepts of Queen Mary 2, because... if you look at the funnel looks like the one on QM2. The stern looks like it's from QM2, on top of everything else. Honestly, though, I just kind of wish they. Actually, I don't think they should build. I'd love to see them build a ship with the same design profile, but not the name. Hold on one second, please. Let me pause this.